Diapers. Lots of diapers.
This episode is brought to you by PJ saying diapers. Lots of diapers. Welcome to Love in Brief, a brief ABDL advice podcast focused on issues of love. That's love for yourself, love for your community, and today it's going to be love for getting together in giant groups and doing wild stuff, because today is our SummerCAP preview. What's a SummerCAP, you ask? Well, we're about to find out, because we never had one before. We've had Capcon, the Chicago Age Players Convention, for a number of years, and it's become kind of this magnet in the United States, and even for folks from outside the U.S. to come in and gather in this big group and share experiences. But this is SummerCAP, so it's going to be a little bit different, and I have the good fortune and the honor to learn with you right now what's a SummerCAP. So I won't delay any further. Let me bring on our guests. I will introduce them in order and get to know them a little bit, and then we'll dive in. I'm going to start with somebody I've known for quite some time, and I'm so excited to get to see again at SummerCAP, our Master of Ceremonies for SummerCAP, BJ. BJ, welcome to Love and Brief.
Thank you so much. Listen, Resonant, yes, what you do and what you are an absolute gem. The content you provide, that's one thing, which is just astronomical and incredible. But for real, the person that you are, like you just have a heart of gold, and I just really can't sing your praises like enough. You are an incredible person, and thank you for doing this. Thank you for being here. Thank you for having me. Thank you for everything.
Absolutely, man. Well, I feel the same way, and I feel really lucky to get to know you, not just here through the community, but out in the world. Yeah. Thank you. Well, and I know that you're going to be our Master of Ceremonies at SummerCAP, but I always like to ask, tell me about your love. Tell me about your love right now.
So, my wife and I and her boyfriend, the three of us have a daughter. We are polyamorous, and long story short, my wife and I haven't had any children, but her and her boyfriend were able to have a daughter, and the three of us are parents. And
how wonderful!
And this little girl, I just had my first Father's Day this past Sunday.
Yeah, happy Father's Day! Happy first Father's Day!
Thank you. The connection that I have with this little girl is the most incredible thing I've ever experienced. By a long shot, and I don't want to talk about this for forever, because I could talk about this forever, but let me just put it this way. It's like, I think that in life, you think about your heart like a battery, and some things deplete that battery, and some things fill up that battery, but some things increase the storage capacity of that battery. And I think that, one of the main meanings of life is to find those things that increase the storage capacity of your heart battery, your soul battery. Yeah. And man, like this little girl,
she does it.
I'm a whole new. It was this thing that was locked inside of me that at the moment of her birth was like unlocked, and
amazing.
It's beautiful. So you ask about the love. Where's the love in your life, bro? Like
it's
that's
everywhere.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good, man. I feel like we could do an entire episode just on your story. Yeah. We probably should, because this sort of polyamorous growing love, multiplying love, and then having this addition to your family. How wonderful. Well, thank you, BJ, for that. Let me bring on somebody that RNT and I got to know at Capcon, who this is our sort of director of ceremonies, our sort of, in the past it would have been head of the pageant, but I gather the pageant is changing shape this year into something else at SummerCAP. But this is Elizabeth. Welcome to Love in Brief.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to chit-chat.
I am too, and it's been, I think, since last CAP that we got to hang out in real life, so I'm really excited to get to see you again.
Yes, along with everyone else that we haven't seen in way, way too long.
I know. I feel like I'm going to spend the first day of CAP just going, oh my God! and then hugging people.
Yes, and catching up and getting into those conversations you could only get into at Capcon.
Yeah, for sure. One of the weird things about doing the podcast is that a lot of people already know what's going on in my life, but I don't know what's going on in theirs because they're not also doing a podcast. And so we have this moment where it's like, how are you? And I'm like, pretty good, lots of ups and downs, big story. And they're like, yeah, I know. But then I get to ask, how are you? And then catch up. So,
right.
So Elizabeth, tell me about your love right now. Tell me about your love.
My love, I would say, so the most enriching thing to me is finding kindness in every aspect and every, avenue of your life. Reaching out and being able to help anyone and all people that, would need any sort of extra assistance in your life. And that all boils down to the kindness, compassion, and consideration that you can show other people. And the more that you put those three things out, the more of that you're going to get back. And to me, that is true love.
That's A, very profound, and B,
thank you.
100% been my experience that the kindness and consideration and compassion that you put out in the world ends up coming back in one form or another.
Even if it takes longer than, you would like it to, it'll always come back.
Yeah, and it may not come back from that person, right? Sometimes it just comes back in other forms. But, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I mean, I'm hearing this sort of selfless love, but also this love for self that gets returned in that.
Yes, it's not all selfless. I do expect the love back at some point.
That's right. It's just a loan to the universe for a while. I want that back.
Exactly.
That's so good. Thanks, Elizabeth. And lastly, I want to introduce Kane. And Kane's job is sort of to run the whole thing. Kane's kind of the overseer, the director, the king of chaos. Kane, welcome to Love and Brief.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you to all of us, yeah.
We have so much to talk about with Capcon, but this is your first time on the show. Tell me about your love. What does love feel like, and where's it showing up for you right now?
I don't know. That is, after these previous answers, that's
hard to top
thing
that.
To follow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I guess I would just say, really, it's like, I think this community and this community in general, and just, it's world's kind of chaos right now, and we have each other, and that's kind of like that reinforcement, that tribe aspect, that's just, we're together, and that, like, I love that, and that's kind of the thing that pushes me forward, if you will.
Yeah. We talk about love on this podcast and elsewhere about love as a noun and a verb, and I can tell you that all of the work that goes into creating something like Capcon, all of the weeks and weeks and weeks and months of preparation, and even taking flack for one thing or another, all of that to me feels like an act of love, that you must love this community to bother to do all this.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. It's, I just, this, you all are my people, and community. And that's like, I don't know how best to describe it. Just, it is my heart, and my heart is that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and you've manifested into this you and the others who put this together have manifested into this very big experience. I remember talking about this on the podcast after I went to my first CAP, or maybe it was my second, but being like, look, I found my tribe. Like, I got there and found my tribe, and that is such a remarkable experience.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Yeah,
100% agree. Yeah.
So this is good. This takes me into the question for y'all, and jump in as y'all see fit, but what's a SummerCAP? I'm excited about it. What is it?
Well, so, historically we've had 10 different Capcons in the formal sense. And it's always been in the spring. And so what makes this different is the timing of it being in the summer. The fact that we've had a break in time, and so we really wanted to wait as long as possible to have another event, and we've felt that the timing is right now for this to happen. and we wanted to come back in a big way. And this is how we're doing it, is having a whole new event. And that's not speaking to the historical Capcon. It's not that won't happen, but this is just a brand new event that we're having now. So taking place in the summer, and we're basically going for essentially a new event with a new vibe that takes everything that we've built up over the past 10 previous Capcons and starting off anew with something novel and something that is in the Capcon spirit, but taking it to the next level.
So that's important to me. That what I'm hearing is, look, we're not redoing Capcon here, and we're also not replacing Capcon here. This is a lot of the stuff you might love about Capcon, but we're doing something new.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And hopefully we won't have to wear coats when we see each other.
Right.
That is nice.
Yeah. It'll
That's
be during the summer.
Exactly. Who stands out there in the smoker's pit, you know? It can get a little chilly out there.
Guilty.
That's right. So what is different at SummerCAP? What do you imagine will be different for those who have been to a previous Capcon?
So we, BJ and I, are in charge of doing the opening ceremonies, the pageant this year, which we will touch on. So with the whole SummerCAP, we're really hoping, we've created this summer camp theme to go along with it. We've switched the pageant into a talent show. So we have all sorts of costumes and, funny things planned out to, really drive it home of it's this summer, it's a camp, it's CAP. We are so excited. And we're going to keep that energy going throughout the whole convention.
That's so fun. So if somebody is, thinking about how am I going to pack my bags or prepare, do you have any advice on packing for SummerCAP that might be different? I mean, obviously you don't need as many coats, but other than that, are there thematic elements that people should be maybe thinking about if they have the ability to get something?
Diapers. Lots of diapers.
Okay, that is new. That is new for Capcon. Although there's always vendors there, so if you pack light, don't worry, they'll be there.
Yeah, and I think I think a lot of it also is just kind of what the community wants out of it. So yeah, if camp is something that you hold, that kind of memory, that kind of thing is something you hold dear, something you didn't get to do but wanted to try and experiment with, yeah, by all means, lean into that kind of idea if you want. But if not, I think also, it's at the end of the day, it's still going to be, Cap, SummerCAP, Capcon. It will still very much be very familiar to anyone who's been there before and looking for that same kind of thing. But I think just kind of a fun, let's see what people can make of it, see what people want to do with it, see what the community kind of runs with it. Yeah, that kind of thing.
I appreciate you saying that, because certainly there are some folks who will get really energized about summer camp theme, and some folks, those who have the means or the capability to make stuff, might embrace the theme with clothing or whatever. And then there are some folks who they don't have a connection to that. They've never been to summer camp, or it's just not important to them, or they don't have the means to go off and buy costumes or make stuff. That's fine, right? What I'm hearing is,
yep,
just you are going to have an amazing time regardless. But for those who, for whatever reason, this theme energizes them, they can do whatever they like with it.
Exactly. Yeah. Basically, just by confluence of the calendar and everything else. And I personally have a bunch of fond memories of summer camps and things, and so it just seemed like a fun, let's give it a whirl and see how it goes kind of thing.
I would be lying if I said I haven't had a couple of summer camp fantasies before. So this is pretty exciting on many fronts. Yeah, this is pretty exciting. So, I mean, right now I'm sort of asking you to compare and contrast with a traditional Capcon, but most people who listen to this podcast have never been to that either. So I think we ought to define what should somebody expect from coming to an event like this. I mean, let's get down to the basics. What happens at a Capcon of any kind? So
this is my first year doing any volunteering in any manner, so it's a little bit this cap would be definitely different for me. But attending for the past 3, I think, conventions, just as an attendee, I would say go in without any expectations. There's a lot that goes on, and they're, CAP, they host all of these, classes and places to be able to facilitate however you would like to facilitate CAP. So I would always go through the schedule and, highlight things that I want to go to throughout the whole entire weekend. And that was always so meaningful to have the schedule laid out and have a schedule for myself too, just personally.
Yeah. And do you know, will there be a schedule put out beforehand? Is there a timeline or communications folks should look for as they start to plan, what do I want to do with these few days?
So the schedule will be basically released probably June 29th, June 30th is basically the plan for that. Then newsletter 2 came out a couple days ago, and look for the Sked invite for everyone basically the middle of next week.
Okay, and is that coming to folks' email because they already bought a ticket? Is there a website for most people to look at? How will folks get that information?
It'll come to basically those who have purchased badges, tickets, will then get an email with the link to set up, to get the account and then find the event.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. And they'll be looking for that maybe June 29th or 30th. They can start planning, what do I want to go to? Now, I know in years past, it's been, it's not been a thing where you necessarily have to sign up for classes. You might mark them down for yourself that you want to go, but you can decide what you want to do on the fly, just kind of show up to stuff. Is it the same this year, or because of the sheer size of it, are folks going to be sort of reserving their spot in classes and workshops and events?
We will not, there's the ability to RSVP through Sked, but that is just kind of if you want to show your interest kind of thing, so on and so forth. In terms of the classes and everything, largely all the events that we run, it's basically a first come, first serve kind of thing in terms of seating for the classes or space in the rooms for the events, that kind of thing. There are essentially 2 exceptions to that. One of them is the pizza party that will take place on Saturday night, and there will be separate tickets sold for that. That will also come out, information for that will come out with the Sked release. And then the tea party, similar situation with that, separate ticket for that. But everything else is pretty much just whoever, there are, seats in the classrooms, and there's space for the in the middles rooms and in the pet play space and those things. And just, whoever makes it to them first gets the seating that they have, kind of thing. If that makes sense.
It totally does. And I know in previous incarnations of Capcon that I was worried that there wouldn't be enough space or that there'd be too many people or too many lines. My experience was that you could generally do whatever you wanted to. There was enough space, and because y'all have put out so many different areas that people spread out to. You've got littles rooms and middles rooms. You've got pet play rooms. You've got giant open areas. You've got ball pits. You've got a racing course. I don't know that all these will be at SummerCAP. Maybe you'll have different things, but can you tell me about all of the different rooms that people can go to? Because I don't want to give the impression that there's a handful of stuff that 1,000 people are going to cram into. Tell me about all these rooms.
So we have, so there will be the main ballroom. We'll have in it main stage, and then we'll also have our large playground space. Outside of that, there will then be the main vendor hallway. We'll have several vendors, several sponsors in that area. There's then a dark room dungeon type thing for Dark Age play, that type of stuff, people who are interested in that. And then downstairs, we will have a large-scale nursery space, then a small, a different littles room for that thing, for that content, then a couple of middles rooms. There'll be a pet play space, a quiet kind of sensory, if you're like just feeling overwhelmed or anything, just a smaller space. A quiet space, then the 2 classrooms. There will then also be roundtable space. And then just various like nooks and crannies wherever we can find space in the hotel, and we put all kinds of other little goodies. I think that's the main different rooms, and then each of these spaces largely come with their own individual programming kind of thing ideas. Fantastic staff for each of them, and there's an incredible amount of stuff to do, and just all kinds of content, and just it's a lot of fun. Is the best way I can describe it.
It really is. And I mean, even as you describe all these rooms, right, you can see how this is not an issue of being overcrowded, because there is so much to do that everybody spreads out. I remember finding just this corner that had like a giant Jenga in it. And by the time, all was said and done, there was like 20 of us friends who were all screaming at the top of our lungs playing giant Jenga, and it was just one random corner of this entire huge amusement park of ABDL. So certainly there's plenty to do at CAP.
And all of the spaces and all of the, a lot that goes into, creating these events that we put on the schedule is, the fine details on what's going to push this over the edge, what's like the giant Jenga, that one moment that is going to be unforgettable to, somebody. And even if it is just finding it in a Jenga corner, all of those details the staff puts a really high importance on thinking those things out.
I think that shows too. I mean, you can see where the staff, you even have people staffing each like individual room, like really paying attention to make sure like the quiet room is quiet and the littles room is really focused on little stuff. I think it's very cool.
Capcon's basically the Super Bowl of ABDL conventions. And there's a number, of great, conventions around the world, that still go on, that have, that have happened before, but haven't happened, don't happen now. Capcon, I do believe, was like the first one, and it's the biggest one, and it just has everything and then some. Like, there's so much packed into this weekend that I think it's impossible to experience it all.
I already have my cheerleader outfit packed, so.
Nice. Well, that's the other thing is I was going to say about packing is that I think one of the things RNT and I learned is that you can bring fewer diapers and fewer outfits than you think you need if you want to go to the vendor space, because there are just so many damned vendors selling so many cool things. Is that going to happen again this year?
We have 4 major sponsors lined up. Tykables coming back. They've been with us, I think, longest. Then My Inner Baby, Rears, ABU will also all be there with huge, awesome spaces. And then a large vendor hall filled with approximately 15 to 20 or so additional like vendors of different size and scale, covering a whole wide range of like different types of stuff. And yeah, like there'll be something for everyone, hopefully, is the idea.
Yeah. Yeah, every year when we'd leave, we would pack up our suitcases that were overstuffed to begin with because we felt like we needed to have 40 outfits or whatever. And then we would have to have another huge bag of stuff that we got while we were at CAP. So I've learned my lesson. I'm going to pack less than I need and bring some extra money for stuff.
I will never not overpack. I was actually I'm a list person, so I was writing out everything that I'm going to need an outfit for. And I looked at my husband and I said, I'm going to need to pack 14 outfits. And he said, no, you are not.
Oh, no, you don't. Yeah, I'm pretty lucky in that my outfits are usually just a t-shirt and jeans, so it's not too hard to fit them all in there. But the vending space does sneak up on me every year, and every year I go home with like a mixed case of diapers or two that I did not see coming.
I love the way that you put that the vending space sneaks up on you. That's so well put. It's
man.
Yeah.
I would also like to think about for folks who are maybe a little nervous about CAP. I know when I first went, I was really nervous about a couple of things. One was, what if people take my picture? What if the news media comes because they want to, put this weird thing on the news? What if I'm exposed somehow? That was a fear I had coming the first time. Tell me about some of the protections and things for folks who maybe haven't been before so that they can feel a little bit better about that. And then I'll talk about the second thing I was nervous about.
Yeah. So I think the first thing that I would basically note is that with the hotel takeover, we essentially get to attempt to the best of our ability to control everyone who is inside of the building and make it so that only those who have essentially bought a ticket are inside and thus have agreed to our rules and have gone through the on-site registration process, of which part of that is the application of a security sticker over the cameras on your phones. And so that way you still have the ability to use your phone throughout the weekend to access SCED and just to communicate with your friends and everyone else. But the cameras on your phones will physically be blocked so that you basically do not have the ability to take pictures. And then, we will have security then posted at all of the doors, and then only those who have the badge, wristband, and/or other article that we designate will be allowed into the space or into the hotel itself. And so, I think, again, while we do the best that we can, I do think that we do as good as is realistically achievable in terms of security and trying to keep everyone as safe as possible.
I think that's a very modest way of putting it. I will say I was really impressed. I've been 4 years now. I've been really impressed that I don't see people violating the exposure things. I don't see people taking pictures when they shouldn't. I don't see people sneaking in when they shouldn't.
I will say, so I accidentally broke the rule one time.
Yeah.
I was out front of the hotel and I had vanilla gear on. You couldn't see badge or anything like that. And I had snapped a selfie that I had posted online, and you could see just the very baby corner of the hotel logo.
Oh no.
And I know, and I didn't even realize, but within, I want to say an hour, somebody on Capcon staff had messaged me very nicely, hey, you can see the hotel logo in your picture that I hadn't even noticed. Will you please take it down? So they're pretty, very much on top of things.
They really are. They're really on the ball with it. And even getting in the building, if you don't have your stuff, you're going to have a hard time. So they're really paying attention to who's there and who's not.
Yeah, and I think a huge component of that, is also the community keeping the whole of attendees in the community inside of the building, helping us. But I also want it. I don't want you to necessarily think of it as you're on the lookout or anything like that. I just because we're all human beings, we can sometimes make mistakes and forget or whatever, and just helpful reminders and things like that. And a little corner shot of a thing that just slips your mind and you miss. And it's just,
hey, I got invited back, so.
Exactly, yeah.
You didn't get booted for life for that. That's good.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well,
basically,
so the other thing,
when mistakes happen, we let us know, and vice versa. Yep.
And you address it, and you're on top of it, that's the really impressive part. Is within an hour, somebody's like, "Hey, could you?" The other thing I was worried about is Nilla's being all over the place, and the two things within that was, what about the staff? Aren't they going to point and laugh? And then what about the other people staying at the hotel? I wonder if you could speak to that.
Yeah. So, in terms of other people staying at the hotel, yeah. So we, by nature of being able to have a whole hotel takeover, yeah, there are no other guests in the hotel for the duration of the event that are not attendees of the event. So yeah, there will be no vanillas, as it were, staying in the hotel who are not, have purchased a ticket to the event, because by all means, if that is something that they want to do, great. But in terms of staff as well, 2020 when we were there, it was the staff at both of the hotels that I have been to have been fantastic. And last time in 2020, they even had a whole T-shirt day thing spontaneously, unbeknownst to us beforehand, where the staff all wore fun graphic tees in the spirit of the event. And
they all had the light up binky necklaces, so you get frames and things around their neck by the end of the weekend.
That was
awesome.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was worried that there'd be sort of a, oh my God, text my girlfriend, she won't believe what I'm doing at work this week. And it wasn't like that at all. It was people who were like, this is so intriguing and we just want to be here for you guys. I remember they would drop off extra trash bags in rooms that happened to have more people or more dips or whatever, just to be like, hey, we got your back. We want you to be here. We're glad you're here. And I got none of that sort of point and laugh experience at all. They seem to embrace us wholeheartedly.
They've done really well over the years, from my experience, having gone to every Capcon. Every year it just gets better and better with what my understanding is with the coaching of the hotel employees that happens beforehand. And because there have been, some issues in years way past, where there's, certain, staff members that would say something or whatever. And that just does not happen anymore. Capcon has happened enough where obviously the organizers for the event, who are in the lifestyle, they know what they know what's up, they know what to do, what's going on. But the vanilla people, in the hotel management side, they also know what's up, and they know their people, and I don't know this for sure, but I think that and this is kind of just, again, this is me speculating, but I think that they might, pick and choose who they have work that weekend, and kind of gauge who would be the best staff to have for that weekend. Because, if that's not the case, then we're just extremely lucky. I don't know. But
it does seem like it, yeah.
Yeah. It's just been, literally every year has been better than the last. That's the one. If there's anything that's consistent about Capcon, as incredible as it is, truly every year has been better than the last. And so you have 10 events, 10 years of it getting better and better and better. And now with this coming up at the end of July, it's how on earth are we going to top what happened, in early 2020? And I think we might, cautiously optimistic that we can continue this trajectory.
I will say too, so one of the security guards at Cap 2020 totally was hitting on me, and I was full diaper gear and all. I was like, this is hilarious. You are so into this right now.
I have often wondered how many hotel staff have converted, or whatever you would call it. All of a sudden they're like, I want to try this thing. It's got to be a handful, because we are having such a freaking good time. It's got to be a handful that are like, there must be something to this. Yeah.
And maybe they don't outwardly express it, but they go home and do some Google searches or something. And
that's right.
Yeah.
It's got to happen.
Right.
So I wonder if y'all have, having been to a bunch of these, having run a bunch of these, BJ, you said, you've been to all of them. I wonder if you guys have any advice, tips and tricks for how to make the most of your Capcon experience.
Yep. Here you go. You ready? if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong.
Go do something else.
Yep, go do something else.
You know what? That's true. There's enough stuff to do that if you're not having fun at any given moment, you could just find something else to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's on you, to have the best time possible. The staff and the volunteers and the hotel employees, we're all, coming together to create this universe that exists behind, the security walls of the, hotel, that once you're inside, you have your ticket, you go through security. It is a whole other vibe, a whole other universe, that we collectively co-create.
Yeah. One of the things people have, I know, gotten nervous about, and I know R&T always worried about this, was, look, there is so much to do, and there's so much fun to be had, and there are so many people, but that can be overwhelming. Do you have any advice for people who maybe are a little bit more introverted or who require more recharge time, given that this is such a big, expansive convention?
I don't think you'll get a meaningful answer from me or BJ. We're both very extroverted.
This is true. Kane, can you help us out here?
Yeah. So I think I think that, well, I think one advantage is that given that it is summer, there exists the ability to potentially take basically a walk, outside. There are sidewalks around. There are various things in the area that you could that you certainly could go and kill many hours just kind of there are people around, but not anyone from the convention per se, just kind of in your own little world. And potentially there exists many. There's the host hotel if you happen to get a room there. If you were able to make one, the overflow hotel, and or just any, because it does not. You're free to stay wherever you would like to stay and have the same access to the hotel that everyone has in terms of the common spaces and convention center stuff or convention stuff. Yeah, you have your hotel room potentially an option. And then, like I said, there will also be a quiet space, like a sensory room. There are, with all the different nooks and crannies, there's generally quieter areas as well. And I think, I think that certainly with the size, the ability to just kind of unplug and take walks, things like that. I think that there does exist the ability to recharge, as it were.
Yeah.
I will say, too, I'm giving myself a bedtime every day this year at Capcon. It always turns out I don't even know how it happens. Next thing I know, it's 2:00 in the morning, and then I miss the whole entire half of the next day.
Yeah, that does happen to me too. I stay up way too late.
Bedtime every night.
Yeah. And then I miss all the classes I was really excited about the next day.
Yeah, it's really important to pace yourself and realize that, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
I guess don't lose sight of, for example, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and, making sure that your base level fundamental needs for existence, like staying hydrated, making sure you're eating enough, things like that are fulfilled, because if that falls away and you're just focused on peak experience after peak experience, that potentially could be, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah. You can get overwhelmed that way for sure. Well, and, R&T has always been pretty introverted. And so we would always we'd pick one afternoon and go downtown, which is 45, 50 an hour. I don't know. It's X distance away. And that was a break. And that felt really good. Or we'd grab a friend and go out to a restaurant in town. Go to the sensory room. That was always magnificent. Or just go up to our room and carve out a couple hours to not be in the fray. And all of those things are totally fine. The one caveat I will give you is that outside of the hotel walls, you need to be Nilla. And the organizers can't do anything about it if you're walking out in the world. I remember there was a liquor store down the street a bit, and seeing a couple folks who were kind of in little gear in the liquor store, and God, it really bugged me. Because that's the kind of stuff that gets you on Twitter. So don't do that.
Oh, yeah. And if you see something, say something. Nobody thinks it's cool to, expose vanilla people to kink anyways.
Yeah.
Especially in the surrounding areas of this giant thing. There's going to be people, if there's people out in public, that's just going to draw more attention to what's going on inside of the hotel.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
No, I have very little patience for that. So it doesn't happen often. It's only happened a couple of times, but I don't like it. So if you do go out in the world, just put on your regular Nilla gear. You can wear a diaper under it. Right. It's okay.
Exactly. We are all, consenting to be there at the con in that space, but everyone else outside, has not implicitly given their consent for what we choose to do in there. So we need to make sure that we're, respecting. We live in a society, quote unquote. So
yeah. Plus, do you really want to be the bee that's leading everybody back to the colony? Probably not. Like, you don't want to be the one who brings all the attention to the thing we're all trying to do together.
You're not going to find any honey.
There's no honey. I don't know how far I can stretch this metaphor, but I'm going to keep trying.
Well, I guess to carry I guess not necessarily the metaphor, but the linguistic nature of what you said with the bee. I think it was Zorro Daddy who's made this point before that that there's with ABDL there's you can't have the B without the A. In order to fully appropriately engage in ABDL, you can't lose sight of the fact that we need to be responsible about it, and have others in mind who may not only not be a part of this lifestyle, but may be uncomfortable seeing it, or having it be visually forced upon them or whatever.
I changed my mind on the bee metaphor. The only honey you'll find is me.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. So I will say I've made a point of it on this podcast just now, but it is a very small. I've only seen it a couple of times and had words with those folks, and everybody righted their ways. So if you're one of those folks, this is brand new for you, and you're like, oh, there's going to be people running around all the local establishments in little gear. Nope. It doesn't happen that often, but when it does, it's crummy, so don't do it. Okay. You guys ready for a quick lightning round on the thing you were most excited about for SummerCAP? And I'm going to go last.
No, we are not.
You're not. You can't pick just one?
We are not. We need to let's start over.
Start over. Kill the podcast.
Redo.
We'll do it live.
Oh God, no! I don't have a filter.
I mean, maybe BJ, can I pick on you first? What are you most excited about when it comes to SummerCAP?
Well, my mind goes in a couple different directions when you say that, but I want to try to, obviously given the nature of our discussion right now, try to say, the most impactful thing. And I guess what I'm most excited about is more or less every Capcon that I've experienced, generally speaking, there's been some part of me that has, I guess you could say, transcended or expanded, or and not necessarily like a prejudice that I had that I didn't realize that I had, but just like a part of my brain and my heart and my soul that grew, that I wasn't expecting it to, but it did. And after the first couple Capcons and having that happen, I tried to seek that out, and gosh darn it, I found it. When you're looking for it. So I'm really excited to just go in with an open mind and an open heart and open arms, and just take in the love that we truly collectively co-create there, and see how it transforms me and how it's able to, like change me, and I can take that love going forward after the con.
That is such a big. I'm so not going to be able to beat that. Mine's going to sound so shallow, BJ, but agreed.
I'm looking forward to the diapers.
Lots of diapers.
Lots of diapers.
Elizabeth, how about you? What are you most looking forward to at SummerCAP?
Yeah, I'm totally going to go shallow too, so no worries.
Sweet.
It's always hard. BJ's always a tough act to follow. But I'm really looking forward to playing dress up all weekend. Cap for me, it really becomes like a Barbie dream closet showcase.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
It really makes it for me. When you look good, you feel good, and putting all the effort into the outfits and the hair and, just correlating my outfits to the events that are going on is always just so fun. It's like a whole little project too, like building my Cap closet.
The Cap closet. That's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, again, my outfits tend to be boring, so I just have to pick the right T-shirts to wear.
I'll pick you out an outfit and I'll bring it for you.
All right,
I'll dress you up too.
I can't. I need to branch out. I agree.
I got you.
Thank you. Kane, I've got to wonder. You guys are going to be so busy all weekend making this thing happen. Is there something in particular that you're really looking forward to yourself?
Yeah. So I guess the thing that I am most looking forward to, as it were, so I've been to other like kinky convention type things, and essentially, what I love the most is that, so I don't necessarily know what it is for different people and different things, but if there's like that part of you that, is inside of that box, or that, if it's a closet or just whatever, that when you come to this event, like, or at least for me, when I'm there, the walls of the event, and for us, it's fortunate to have a hotel takeover, but the walls of that hotel become of that space become where you that box, that closet, that place expands, and it fills the entire, like, you are free to, you not necessarily have to be out of that, but you are now able to be yourself without having, to worry. And that's what I kind of love about it, and seeing the people and seeing just everyone get to be themselves, because everyone is amazing. And that's what I'm excited for.
I love this idea of the box expanding. It doesn't have to go away, but now it's the size of the hotel, and you get to operate and move around fluidly in that as exactly who you are. Very cool. Well, once again, mine's going to sound really shallow, but here we are. I'm looking forward to doing this. I'm looking forward to a live Love and Brief podcast episode where we get to take a giant room full of people from the main stage and field advice questions with a panel of guest experts that you've heard on this program, and take live questions and talk live love advice, love for self, relationships, love for others in the community. Pick up some of the questions that we haven't gotten to from email and allow this panel to do it, and mostly just to feel that energy of this big group of folks enjoying the Love and Brief podcast all at once. This has just been the highlight for me for the last couple of years of being able to do that. Unfortunately, R&T can't come to this CAP. I can't say she can't. She chose not to, and I thought it was a really selfless thing. She said that she really wanted me to be able to go and just sort of have my experience, and she said, I'll sit this one out, and then, next year we can both go again. But she wanted to really make sure that I could have this experience, and I'm so grateful for that, R&T, so thank you. So it'll be me, it'll be our panel, and it'll be you, all of you, who want to join us in a live Love and Brief podcast. And I look forward to that so much every year. So I can't wait to do it again. See, I told you it was going to be a little shallow, or at least self-indulgent, but here we are. One last thing I got to ask, and maybe Kane, this is for you, but if this goes really well, it's sold out so fast. If this goes really well, is it possible we're looking at a spring and a summer cap?
I very much wish that I could get as many people as into the hotel. I wish that that we had more opportunities, whether that in whatever way it was, single event, multiple events. We are exploring all like viable options in terms of trying to get as many people to be able to experience these conventions as possible. Because I think that they're really great and wonderful experiences.
Yeah. I think that is a really great answer for because you're just doing this for the first time. So I hope, and also I do want to take the pressure off and say, look, what this experience of watching CAP sell out at its largest capacity ever, at its fastest time ever, tells me is the demand is there for this community to get together and celebrate together. The demand is there. And it doesn't all have to be on CAP to do it, right? It can be lots of folks doing lots of cool things. So the pressure, I'll take the pressure off a little bit. I was just dying to know.
If anything, it can be inspiring that, anyone can do this thing.
That's right. I mean, CAP has gotten bigger and better every year. And so I'll encourage other folks, like if you experience that demand and you're like, the demand is so pent up, we want to celebrate together as a community, we want to gather. Well, start something. And just make it better every year. The room is there, guys. The room is there. We don't need to elbow room in this community. We have plenty of demand and plenty of reasons to get together.
Yeah. Agreed.
So, all right.
Your way with words is just incredible. Like, I just love listening to you talk. I just love hearing your voice.
BJ.
Like, you're so awesome.
Thanks. Well, now I've got 94 more hours of it in previous episodes if you ever get bored. I'm excited because CAP is going to be right around our 100th episode, and I'm super excited about it. I think right now I'm thinking the 100th episode, it would be cool to do kind of a retrospective on the last 100, but CAP is going to end up being like 95 or something. It's going to be right up there. So we're 96, so I'm super excited about that. Friends, I cannot thank you enough both for joining me to talk about this SummerCAP event that's coming up, but also just for putting it on. I find myself, as soon as it was announced, my heart just jumped. I could not wait to spend time with this community, with my friends, meeting new people, and celebrating all the wonderful things that we get to experience as people with an ABDL kink. So, BJ and Elizabeth and Kane, thank you to all three of you, and I cannot wait to see you at SummerCAP.
Thank you. Seriously, thank you.
This is about we got one amazing event here, SummerCAP, coming up, but we have lots of other great topics to cover between now and the 100th episode, and of course, well beyond. R&T and I are not done making this podcast once we hit 100. But in the meantime, if you are going to SummerCAP, can't wait to see you there. If you're not going to SummerCAP and you still manage to listen to an hour about SummerCAP, good on you. Hopefully, we can see you at the next whatever it is as the community continues to grow and expand our boundaries and find new ways to commune. I'm Resident Yes. This has been another episode of Love in Brief.